Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update.
Dear students, welcome to Insight Academy. In today's session, we are going to discuss Indian Art and Culture Basic Level Prelims Test Paper. I hope all of you have attempted test paper and you have scored good marks also. Keep your test paper with you so that you could see which question was right, which question was wrong. And in this discussion, I'll tell you not only the right option, but also the reasons behind that right option. So have your test paper with you in your hands so that you could see what did you read and how did you solve, what was correct in your method and what was wrong in your method, as well as in your answer. So this test paper is MCQ based, and there are 100 questions in this paper. First 80 questions are related to subject, that is art and culture basic level. The last 20 questions are related to current developments. So these are the current issues of the syllabus mentioned in your test schedule. I hope all of you are following the schedule. This schedule has been designed in a very scientific manner by discussing with the veterans involved in UPSC preparation, because nowadays pattern is changing very rapidly. Sometimes they focus on dynamic aspects, sometimes they focus on the static aspects. So in this paper, we have tried to maintain a balance between the dynamic current aspects as well as the static traditional aspects. So first question here. With reference to festival of Nowruz, consider the following statements. Try to think of the festival of Nowruz. The festival of Nowruz is of Parsis or Zoroastrians. It is a New Year festival that is celebrated every year as a mark of regeneration, as the commencement of the season of regeneration. Let us look at the statements here. It is a Persian New Year festival, perfectly correct. And it celebrates the beginning of the season of regeneration. So it's the beginning of the new life. It's a commencement of the new phase of life. So this is correct here. Statement number 1 is correct. You have to read the statements properly and always follow instructions, because sometimes instructions will say choose the correct statement. Sometimes instructions will demand the incorrect statements. Statement number 2, this festival is celebrated by Parsis or Zoroastrians community in India, of course. The Parsis in India, Parsis in other parts of the world, everyone celebrate this festival. Number 3, it has been inscribed in UNESCO's list of intangible cultural heritage of humanity. So UNESCO has recognized this as an intangible heritage of humanity. It's a part of UNESCO's World Heritage List. So all of these statements are correct here. Option here is 1, 2, and 3. So 1, 2, and 3 means C. So this is your right option. Because all the 3 statements are correct, it's a Persian New Year festival and it is celebrated by Zoroastrians and it is a part of UNESCO's Cultural Intangible Heritage List. Question number 2. With reference to cave temples built in Indian subcontinent, which of the statements given below is correct? Cave temples means the temples cut into the cave. Cut into the hills here. So if you take this as a hill, the hills were cut into in different shapes. 1 or 2 chambers were cut. Earliest the cave temples were cut during the reign of Ashoka in Barabar Hills. Then his grandson Dasharatha cut some cave temples in Nagarjuna Hills in Bihar. Barabar Hills and Nagarjuna Hills are located close by in Jehanabad district of Bihar. Look at the statements here. Cave temples were built in India for the first time during the reign of Mauryan ruler Ashoka and his grandson Dasharatha. Correct. The practice of fire worship was prevalent in Indian cave temples. No. Cave temples were not having anything to do with the fire worship. At times, these cave temples, not everyone, some of these cave temples used to have a stupa-like structure inside them, and that structure was worshipped. So there was nothing like fire worship here. A Zoroastrian temple built at Jandial. Jandial is near Sirkap in Pakistan. So you can see nearby to the Taxila area. And this is a temple built in stone belonging to somewhere between 200 BC to say 50 BC or 2nd century BC to 1st century BC. It was built during the reign of Indo-Greeks. And this temple reflects a deep influence of Indo-Greek or Greco-Roman culture. A Zoroastrian temple built at Jandial during pre-Christian era was an example of cave temple. This was not a cave temple. This was a structural temple. So fire worship was not there in cave temples. Jandial temple is considered to be the oldest example of structural temple. A structural temple means temples built by using bricks or stone piece by piece. Cave temples were an example of monolithic temples. Monolithic means cut out of or cut into the hills. Which of these are correct? So only one is correct. That is A. Question number 3. With reference to Indian forts and their builders, match list 1 with list 2. Tughlaqabad fort was built in Delhi by Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq. Ghiyasuddin Tughlaq was the founder of Tughlaq dynasty and he constructed this fort. Siri fort was built by Alauddin Khilji, again in Delhi. Salimgarh fort near to Red Fort in Delhi on the banks of river Yamuna was built by Ismail Saha. So, A, C and B, option A, 1A, 2C and 3B. So, option is A here. Question number 4. Consider the following statements with reference to progress in the field of architecture witnessed during Mauryan age. A book titled as Indica written by Pliny. Pliny did not write this book. There are 2 books in history with the name Indica. The first book was written by Megasthenes. Megasthenes was ambassador in the court of Chandragupta Maurya. Indica of Megasthenes has been lost, has not been found. Some of the references or quotations from Indica of Megasthenes are found in Indica of Arrian. Arrian was a later Greco-Roman writer. He wrote a book with the name of Indica. Megasthenes wrote a book with the name of Indica. So Indica of Megasthenes has been lost. Indica of Arrian is available. And some of the references from Indica of Megasthenes are found in Indica of Arrian, but not in Pliny. Pliny was the author of natural history. So Pliny did not write Indica. First one is wrong. A book titled as Indica informs that the city of Patliputra was surrounded by a wooden palisade. Palisade means wall. This reference is found in Indica of Megasthenes, and Megasthenes was quoted by Arrian in his book Indica. So there was a wooden palisade, but that is not mentioned by Pliny, and Pliny did not write the book Indica. So first one is wrong. The archaeological remains found at Kumrahar. Kumrahar is a place in Patna, and Kumrahar was the center of ancient Patliputra. Kumrahar is a place where remains of a stone palace of Ashoka have been discovered. A wooden palace was built by Chandragupta Maurya. That wooden palace was perhaps destroyed by fire because no remain is available here. Only the ash, a layer of ash had been found beneath the stone palace of Ashoka. Ashoka built an exact replica of that wooden palace in stone, and the remains of Ashokan stone palace have been discovered at Kumrahar. So look at the question here. The archaeological remains found at Kumrahar reveal that wood was used as the main construction material. The archaeological remains indicate that stone was used as the main construction material because wooden remains have not been discovered. So this one is wrong. Wood was used as construction material, we know from literary references. During the reign of Chandragupta Maurya, wood was the main construction material, but that is not revealed by archaeological remains found at Kumrahar. Kumrahar remains indicate that stone was the main construction material. So this one is wrong here. Statement number 3. The remains of a wooden palace belonging to Mauryan age were discovered at Gosai Khanda. Gosai Khanda and Bulandi Bagh. are also two places located within today's city of Patna. Gonsai Khanda and Bulandi Bagh were excavated, and the wooden remains of this wooden palisade have been discovered. The remains of this wooden palisade have been discovered at Gosai Khanda and Bulandi Bagh. Both are located in today's Patna, but not palace. Remains of palace were not found. Remains of wooden palisade. Palisade means wall or the fort wall that was surrounding the city of Patliputra were discovered here. So this is also a wrong statement. This is also a wrong statement. So what do we need to see? Which of the statement given above is correct? None of the statement given above is correct, so option is D. Question number 5. With reference to Red Fort complex located in Delhi, which of the statement given below is correct? So keep on seeing the instruction carefully, because at times instruction would be not correct, and that time, in spite of the fact that you may know the answer, your question could be wrong. First one, this Red Fort complex was constructed under the patronage of Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. Shah Jahan was the builder of Red Fort complex. So Red Fort complex is not just a fort. In this fort there were palaces. Outside there is Jama Masjid. This was the city of Shahjahanabad. So Red Fort was part of city of Shahjahanabad, and Shah Jahan built this city during 1639 to 1648. Emperor's palace known as Rang Mahal and a canal known as Nehre-Bahist were built in this Red Fort complex. Perfectly correct. Peacock throne which was possessed by Mughals was placed in Diwan-e-Khas. Diwan-e-Khas was for the meeting with ministers or this meeting with the special dignitaries. Diwan-e-Am was for Aam Admi. This was to meet the common people. So Peacock throne was kept in Diwan-e-Khas, not Diwan-e-Am. This is wrong. You need to see the correct statement. So 1 and 2 are correct. Option is A. Question number 6. Consider the following caves: Lomas Rishi, Sudama, Karna Chopar, and Vapia. Which of these caves of Mauryan age mentioned below are part of Barabar Hills? Barabar Hills have the caves cut during the reign of Ashoka. These caves, Lomas Rishi, Sudama cave, Karna Chopar, and this fourth one also, Viswa Jhopadi. There are 4 caves in Barabar Hills. All these 4 caves were cut during the reign of Ashoka, as revealed by inscriptions found on the walls of these caves. These caves were donated by Ashoka to the monks of Ajivaka sect. Ajivaka sect was founded by Gosala Makkaliputta. It believed in living a simple, poor life, and the monks of this sect were given these caves, were donated these caves. These caves were used by the monks for their residential purposes and to meet their devotees. Vapia cave was part of Nagarjuni Hills. Barabar Hills and Nagarjuni Hills both are located close by in Jehanabad district of Bihar. So 1 to 3, option is B. 1 to 3 only. 7. With reference to ancient caves located in Nagarjuni Hills. So Nagarjuni Hills caves were cut during the reign of Ashoka's grandson Dashrath. Purpose was the same. These caves were also donated to the monks of Ajivaka sect. Consider following statements, and you have to choose the correct statements. Let us see. The architecture of these caves was simple and rectangular in shape. So these were basically simple rectangular halls cut into the hill. There was little ornamentation. The walls and the roof used to have a glossy polish similar to the polish found on Ashokan pillars, but design-wise these were simple. The front hall of these caves were used for the gathering of worshippers or devotees. Correct. The back hall, these used to have generally 2 halls, front half and the back half. The back half or the back hall was used by the monks for their meditation and for their residential purposes. The back chamber of these caves were used by monks for their residential purpose. Perfectly correct. All these 3 statements are correct. Option is 1 to 3, that is C. Question number 8. In the context of progress witnessed in the field of music in India, which of the statements given below is correct? The classification of musical instruments in India was carried out for the first time by Bharat Muni. Bharat Muni was the author of Natya Shastra. Natya Shastra is considered to be the most authentic book related to music, dance, theatre. So Bharat Muni carried out classification of instruments on the basis of the manner in which sound was produced. Couple of classifications are mentioned here. Ganavadya. Ganavadya was that instrument which produced sound not through the vibration of a stretched string but through the vibration of entire instrument. Think of ghungru, cymbals, plates. So when you hit the plates, they produce sound. Vibration of entire instrument produces sound, and that instrument was known as Ganavadya. Stretched string was the feature of Tatavadya. Tatavadya. So Tatavadyas are the musical instruments that produce sound through stretched membrane. No, through stretched string, stretched membrane was the feature of Avanadhavadya. Avanadha Vadya, membranophone. In English, membranophone. So second is wrong, third is wrong. You need to see the correct statements. Which of these are correct? Only one, that is A. Question number 9, consider the following statements with reference to classical dance form Kathakali. Kathakali is the dance belonging to the state of Kerala. So first statement here is wrong. It's not Odisha, it's Kerala. It's known as ballet of feast, famously known as ballet of feast, correct. This dance form is mostly performed by male artists after sunset. Initially it was performed by male only. Later on some female also started participating in it or started performing it. It is performed after sunset. And these artists, they put a lamp in front of them, and that lamp is also very important here, Nila Vilakku. So that lamp known as Nila Vilakku is put in front of them on the stage while performing the dance. So this is performed after sunset. The Kathakali performance do not speak, they convey their masses through various gestures and postures. Perfectly correct. So, Angika Abhinayam. Angika Abhinayam is the term used for conveying masses through bodily organs, so through gestures and postures. In some dance form, they used to speak also. And the dance form in which the artists were speaking, that was known as Vachika Abhinayam. So this was an example of Angika Abhinayam. First is wrong, 2, 3, 4 correct. Option is D, 2, 3 and 4. Question number 10. In the context of the caves located in India, which of the pairs are rightly matched? Bagha caves in the Dhar district of MP belong to Buddhism. There are 9 caves. All the 9 caves are dedicated to Buddhism. Mandargiri caves located in Bhagalpur district of Bihar are associated with Jainism. Correct. Udayagiri caves located in MP, Vidisha, near Bhilsa. These are associated with Vaishnavism. Some of the caves are Shaivism also, but here these are definitely Vaishnavism. 1, 2, 3, all are correctly matched. Option is D. Question number 11. Read the following questions carefully and answer the question on the basis of quotes given below. A magnificent image of Lord Vishnu in the form of great boar or Varaha, pig or wild pig, is found in front of Udayagiri caves. Correct? The famous Pashupati Mahadev seal, in which a yogi is depicted with animals like buffalo, was found at Harappa. This Pashupati Mahadev seal was found at Mohenjo-daro, not at Harappa, Mohenjo-daro. So first one is right, second one is wrong. Option is A, 1 only. Question number 12. In the context of the developments witnessed in the field of language, consider the following statements. Prakrit emerged as a vernacular language during post-Vedic period. Definitely in the age of Vedic Aryans, or in Vedic age, the prominent language was Sanskrit. The Vedic Aryans used Sanskrit. In the post-Vedic age, Prakrit emerged as the language of people or lingua franca. Sanskrit developed as an indigenous language in Vedic age for culture, religion, court, and the theatre, etc. That's correct. Malayalam is the youngest of all the Dravidian languages, but it is not spoken by largest population group. Among all the Dravidian languages, Telugu is spoken by the largest population group in peninsular India. So this statement is wrong. First half is correct. It is youngest among all Dravidian languages, that is Kannada, Malayalam, Tamil and Telugu. 1 and 2 are correct. You have to choose the correct statements 1 and 2, that is D. Question number 13, with reference to Ajanta caves, which of the statements given below is correct? These caves are located in Aurangabad district of Maharashtra, correct. There are total 30 caves. 29 of these caves are in finished condition and one cave here at Ajanta is in unfinished condition. It means the activities related to cave cutting were abandoned in the midway because of some factors. The cave was not completed. So not 34 but 30 caves, 29 finished and 1 unfinished. These caves are dedicated to Buddhism and Jainism. Wrong. These caves are dedicated to Buddhism only. Ajanta caves are dedicated to Buddhism only. Ellora caves are dedicated to Buddhism, Jainism as well as Brahminical religion or Hindu religion. Ajanta caves were discovered by Captain John Smith of Madras Army in 1819. So this is correct. John Smith was the discoverer here. So 1 and 4 are correct. You have to choose the correct statement. So 1 and 4, option is B. Statements about Harappan seals and choose the right one. No evidence of seal. Seal means stamp. The stamp used by Harappans to mark ownership or to authenticate transactions between them. No Harappan seal has been found at the settlement of Alamgirpur. That's correct. Alamgirpur is located near Ghaziabad or near to Delhi in UP on the banks of river Hindan. Alamgirpur was the easternmost site of Harappan civilization. So number 1 is correct here. Number 2, Chanudaro was a prominent center of seal making. So Chanudaro was famous for industries of arts and crafts. Large number of seals have been discovered. It means it was a famous center of seal making in Harappan age. A seal depicting Garuda with snake in its claws was found at Harappa, not at Kalibangan. This seal was found at Harappa. So third is wrong, 1 and 2 are correct. You have to choose the correct statements 1 and 2. 1 and 2, option is A. Question number 15, with reference to tradition of coinage in India, consider the following statements. Indo-Greeks started the tradition of putting the name and the title of king on the coins. Definitely Indo-Greeks started the tradition of putting the name of the king, the title of the king, the date, etc. on coins. They were the first to issue gold coins in India. So this is correct. Kushana coins have pictures of Shiva symbols like Nandi and Trident. Of course, Kushana rulers were liberal, progressive in their religious outlook. They put the religious symbols of all the prominent Indian religions as well as the religions of Iran on their coins. Shiva symbols are commonly found, particularly on the coins of Kushana king Vima Cadphises. Vima Cadphises was follower of Shaivism. His title was Maheshwar, and that title is also found on coins. The title of Maheshwar indicates that he was a worshipper of God Shiva. Number 3, the coins of Gupta king Kumaragupta, one depicted peacock as royal emblem. Correct. The normal Gupta royal emblem was Garuda. The Garuda emblem indicated that the Gupta rulers were worshippers of Vaishnavism or Vishnu. Kumaragupta first was worshipper of Kartikeya, and because he was worshipper of Kartikeya, he used the royal emblem of peacock on his coins. Peacock emblem indicates Kartikeya worship. 1 to 3, all are correct. Option C. Question number 16. With reference to pillar architecture, which of the statements given below are correct? A stone pillar erected by Greek ambassador Heliodorus was found at Vidisa, Bhilsa or Baisnagar. Vidisa, Bhilsa or Baisnagar, meaning is the same place, three different names. Heliodorus was Greek ambassador in the court of 9th Shunga king, Kashiputra Bhagbhadra. So he was in the Shunga court and he was ambassador coming from Greek world, or he was Greek ambassador. Mehroli iron pillar is an example of pillar architecture belonging to the period of Imperial Guptas, correct? It was originally located in front of Udaygiri cave. It was brought to Delhi by Sultan Iltutmish and now it is near to Qutub Minar where Iltutmish placed it. Mauryan ruler Ashoka erected a number of stone pillars in the honor of Mahatma Buddha? No. He erected a number of stone pillars, but these pillars were not in the honor of Mahatma Buddha. These pillars were erected by him to propagate his message among the people, or to have his edicts inscribed on the shaft of pillars, or to have a direct communication with common masses. So this was not for Mahatma Buddha. Through these pillars, he propagated his Dhamma. Dhamma means a code of conduct that Ashoka devised for the overall upliftment of his people. So number 3 is wrong, 1 and 2 are correct. Option is A. Let us see. Is it correct or something? Select the correct answer. Correct answer, you have to choose the correct statements. So 1 and 2, third one is wrong. Option is A. Question number 17. In the context of development witnessed in the field of medical science, consider following statements. The people of Harappan civilization practiced keyhole surgery known as trepanation. So they could drill a hole into the skull to carry out medical operational procedure. That is right, and this is known as trepanation. Trepanation means skull surgery or keyhole surgery. The people of Neolithic age were aware of science of dentistry. Evidence of science of dentistry belonging to Neolithic age have been found at Mehergarh. Some skeletons were discovered in 2001, 2002, and when the teeth of those skeletons were cleaned, it was found that some of the teeth had been drilled and filled with some material. It means the people of Neolithic age in Mehergarh knew dentistry. Nagarjuna developed Ras Chikitsa, correct, as a new medicinal system in which plant extract, in which juice, ras, not metals, were used as cure to different diseases. This was a phenomenon of early medieval age. Nagarjuna is believed to have lived in 10th century and he discovered Ras Chikitsa. He also discovered the medicinal properties of metals, but these two were different things. So he was the first to find out, first to understand the medicinal properties of metals, in which different metals were used to cure diseases. But Ras Chikitsa was based on use of plant extract. So this statement here is wrong. Number 3 is wrong. You have to choose the correct statements 1 and 2. That is B. Question number 18. With reference to the art of puppetry, puppetry would have seen the Kathputlis of Rajasthan, puppetries made of cloth or wood, and then strings are attached to their elbow, their neck, their leg, etc. to make them dance. The earliest written reference to the art of puppetry is found in Tamil text Silapadikalam. Silapadikaram belongs to 3rd Sangam. Silapadikaram is a Tamil text belonging to 3rd Sangam. So this text talks about art of puppetry. This was composed by Ilangwadigal. Not written by, composed by Ilangwadigal, because in Sangam age, the Tamil people were not aware of a script. There was no knowledge of a script in Tamil land that time. Potal Noch is a traditional road puppetry belonging to the state of West Bengal, not Kerala. West Bengal, so second is wrong. Pava Kathakali or Pava Kuthai is the finest example of glove puppetry. Sometimes you would have seen the puppets are put like a glove and then by using the thumb, by using fingers, the puppets are made to perform. One example is Pava Kathakali or Pava Kothai of Kerala, not of West Bengal, Kerala. Second, third are wrong. You have to choose the correct statements, only one. That is D. 19. There are two statements, assertion A, reason R. You have to see whether they are correct or there is relationship of cause and effect between them. Mauryan pillars were an example of alien grafting. No, this is wrong. Mauryan pillars were indigenous. Alien grafting means a tradition of art adopted from outside world. Some historians like Stella Crambrish, John Marshall said the Mauryans adopted the tradition of pillar architecture from Persia, but that is not correct. They were not an example of alien grafting, they were indigenous in character. Assertion is wrong. Persian pillars were far older than Ashokan pillars. Of course, Persian pillars were carved out in 6th century BC. Ashokan pillars were carved out in 3rd century BC. So that is correct here. A is wrong, R is correct. A is false, R is true. Option is D. Question number 20. Consider following statements with reference to the term Malakhambh. So Malakhambh is a form of martial art. It's a traditional gymnastic sport which is used by martial artists as a form of exercise. Correct. A vertical wooden pole is used by gymnasts to perform different exercises and to attain different postures. Correct. Malakhambh has been declared as the state sport of Madhya Pradesh. In 2013, Madhya Pradesh declared Malakhambh as a state sport. So 1 to 3, all are correct. You have to choose the correct statements. 1 to 3. Option is C. Question number 21. With reference to different architectural elements of stupa, which of the following pairs given below are correctly matched? Harmika, it is the top portion. So if you see stupa is like hemisphere or inverted bowl. The lower portion is slightly wider. There are railings here and there are stairs to reach this wider portion. Top portion also has a railing and there is a staff or danda and some umbrellas. There is a railing at the ground level and there were massive beautiful gateways known as Torana Dwars in all the 4 directions. So Vedika means the railing that is found here, that is found here, that is found here. Harmika was a casket that was buried at the top here, that was buried here, and this was supposed to have, or this used to have, relics of Buddha or Bodhisattva. So Harmika, it was sacred burial site located at the top portion of stupa. That's correct. Harmika at the top. This was Harmika. This is Chatra, umbrella. Chatra, it was disc-like structure which symbolizes protection from all evils. Correct. Vedika means railing built around stupa at the ground level, at the level of Medhi. This wider portion was known as Medhi, and at the top, that is Harmika. So all the 3 statements, all the 3 are correctly matched here. 1 to 3, that is D. Question number 22. Consider the following temples and choose the right answer by using codes given below. Kandriya Mahadev Temple, Khajuraho. Vaikuntha Perumal Temple, Kanchipuram. Virupaksha Temple and Meenakshi Temple. Virupaksha Temple, Hampi or Halibut. Which of the temples given above are the examples of the Dravida style? So first was an example of Nagara style. Other 3 were example of Dravida style. Option 2, 3, 4. That is A. With reference to Bhavai, Bhavai is art form belonging to Gujarat. So it's a folk theatre popular in the state of Gujarat. Correct. In this art form, both devotional and romantic sentiments are displayed or portrayed. Correct. Secular elements are represented in this art form, but religious elements are missing. That is wrong. It has both secular as well as religious elements in it. It's Bhavai, folk theatre of Gujarat. 1 and 2 are correct. You have to choose correct statements. So 1 and 2 option is B. That is this. Question number 24. Consider the following statements. The practice of untouchability emerged in India during early medieval age. This statement is wrong here, because the practice of untouchability emerged in India during post-Mauryan age, that is the period from 200 BC to 300 AD. Manusmriti provides the earliest reference of untouchability. Untouchability was a form of social punishment that was given to those people who did not follow the social norms or the social behavior properly. The concept of Purushartha mentioned in ancient religious philosophical literature outlines 4 fundamental objectives. This is correct. Purushartha means dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. So these are the 4 fundamental objectives of life. Dharma, doing good; kama, maintaining your household life; artha, earning your needs; and moksha means liberation from the cycle of birth and death, the soul getting merged with Brahm. That is the ultimate goal of life. So dharma, artha, kama, moksha are described as the 4 fundamental objectives or the goals of human life in ancient literature. So first one is wrong, second one is right. Option here is 2 only. 25. Read the following statements carefully about structural temples. These temples were carved out of live hills. Live hills means hill basically. So every hill that is not disturbed from the roots is known as live hill. They were not cut out of, they were not cut into, they were constructed by using stones and bricks piece by piece. First one is wrong. Dravida style of temple architecture was the earliest. No. Nagara style of temple architecture was earliest. Nagara style emerged in 4th century AD. Dravida style emerged in 7th and 8th centuries AD in South India. So both statements are wrong. You have to choose the correct statement. So neither 1 nor 2. That is D. With reference to Nagara style of temple architecture, look at the factors and forces. You have to see which of these factors were responsible for decline of Nagara style of temple architecture in 6th century AD or after the age of imperial Guptas. Decline of secondary, tertiary activities, of course, because of decline in economic activities, there was less patronage, there was less availability of resources with people, so they could spend less on construction of temples. Invasion of Hunas, yes. Hunas came from Central Asia in 5th century. They affected economic health, they affected the peace and stability of the time. Decline of Gupta Empire, that was a factor. Loss of patronage by regional kingdoms was not a factor because regional kingdoms were earlier largely absent. The development in the field of Nagara style of temple architecture was not due to regional kingdoms' patronage. So 1, 2, and 3 are correct. You have to see which of these factors were involved in the decline of Nagara style of temple architecture in post-Gupta period. 1 to 3, that is A. Question number 27. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to development of education during ancient India? Brahmana Varna received learning of religion and philosophy, not administration. First wrong. People belonging to Vaishya and Shudra Varna received vocational education, not Shudra. Vaishya received vocational education. So 1 and 2 both are wrong. Which of these are correct? So you have to choose the correct. So neither 1 nor 2, that is D. 28. With reference to the Dravidian style of temple architecture, consider following statements. The roof of the temples of the Dravidian style was pyramidal. Pyramidal means if this is the Garbhagriha, the main building where chief god was residing, so this was the style of roof. Pyramidal, step by step, the roof was becoming narrow and narrow. First correct. The temples of this style were built on a raised platform. No, temples were built on flat surface. Raised platform was used in the temples of Nagara style, not in the temples of Dravida style. The walls of Garbhagriha were ornamented from inside as well as outside. So this Garbhagriha walls here, the main building, In Nagara style of temple architecture, they were ornamented only from outside. In Dravida style, they were ornamented from inside as well as outside. So, correct. Shore temple located at Mahabalipuram is a prominent example of the Dravida style of temple architecture. This was built during Pallava period. Correct. 1, 3 and 4 are correct. 1, 3, 4, option is C. Question number 29. With reference to Provida style of temple architecture, consider the following statements. In this style, a separate structure known as Amma Shrine was built for chief goddess. So, chief goddess and chief god were no longer residing together. Chief goddess demanded a separate structure for herself, a separate room, like a dominant lady, and her shrine, her room, was known as Amma Shrine. Another structure known as Kalyanam Mandapa. Kalyanam means marriage, marriage hall. So, on the occasion of Mahanavami festival, the images of chief god, chief goddess were brought from their respective structures and they were placed in Kalyana Mandapa, that was indicating their ceremonial meeting or their marriage. So, Kalyana Mandapa was also built here for the union of chief god and chief goddess. Vasanta Mandapa was also constructed for the gathering of devotees. So, this is also correct here. 1 to 3, all are correct. Option is C. Question number 30. Consider following statements. Sthanakavashi is a Jaina sect founded by Lavaji, correct, in 17th century. But this opposed idol worship. This was anti-idol worship. This was not supporting idol worship. So, first statement is wrong. Concept of Shalaka Purusha, 63 Shalaka Purusha guide universe during the cycle of rise and fall. Jaina philosophy says that the universe passes through cycles of rise and fall. One cycle of rise, Utsarpani. One cycle of half cycle of fall, Avasarpani. The universe is guided by 63 great personalities known as Shalaka Purusha. So, it's not a Buddhist philosophy, it's a Jaina philosophy. Vajrayana sect belongs to Buddhism, not Jainism. And it helped in the rapid spread of Buddhism. So, in Tibet, in many other parts of the world, Vajrayana Buddhism reached during early medieval age, not Jainism. So, this is wrong. So, all the three statements are wrong here, which is not correct. Which is not correct. All the three are not correct. So, B. 31. With reference to various doctrines associated with Jainism, read the following statements. Anekantavada, doctrine of multiple standpoints. That one thing can be explained in multiple different ways, or the people perceived the objective realities in multiple different ways. This is Jaina doctrine. An object of knowledge can be perceived by different people quite differently. Correct. Nyayavada, doctrine of standpoint or viewpoint. So, every individual perceives an objective reality from a particular standpoint, a particular viewpoint. This is correct. Sayadavada, doctrine of maybe. Understanding of an objective knowledge is conditional in nature because people are not certain what is a true form of objective reality in front of them. All these three are correctly matched. Option 1 to 3, that is D. 32. Which of the following statements are correct? Arabesque. Arabesque means carvings of leapers and creepers on the walls and the roof of Islamic buildings. Kufi. Kufi was an angular Arabic script. So, Kufi has to be in place of arabesque. Arabesque has to be in place of Kufi, then both statements will become correct. So, Kufi was an angular Arabic script that was used to write the verses of Quran on the walls and roof of Islamic monuments. Arabesque was an ornamentation techniques in which leapers and creepers were carved out. Both are incorrect here. Which are correct? Neither 1 nor 2, that is D. 33. Consider following monuments. Hoj Shamsi. Hoj means tank, water tank or pond. Samsuddin Iltutmish built it. Samshid Idgaha, Gandak ki Bawali, Antakaran ka Darwaja. Which of these were built by Iltutmish? All the 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All these 4 monuments were constructed by Sultan Iltutmish of slave dynasty. Iltutmish was known as the real founder of Delhi Sultanate. He came after Qutbuddin Aibak. 34. With reference to sects of Buddhism, consider following statements. The monks of East were known as Mahasangikas, correct? And they were responsible for the emergence of Mahayana Buddhism. The monks of West were known as Theravadins or Sthaviravadins, and they paved the way for the emergence of Hinayana Buddhism. Both the statements are correct. You have to choose the correct statement, so option is C, both 1 and 2. Consider following pairs with reference to different sculptures. Bearded priest. The statue or the sculpture of bearded priest was found at Mohenjo-daro. 2 sculptures of cow were found by Ranganath Rao at Lothal. Ikka, bullock cart were found at Harpa. Which of these is not or are not correctly matched? 2 and 3 are not correctly matched. Option is A. First is rightly matched. 36. With reference to medieval age, term Vilayat. Vilayat was the territory of Sufi saints or Chishti Sufi saints. Their territory was known as Vilayat. Look for the right option. Option is D. 37. Consider following objects: elephant, two-wheeled chariot. Two-wheeled chariot means a chariot having 2 wheels, or ikka. Rhinoceros, unicorn. Which of these were part of Daimabad horde? Daimabad, located in Maharashtra on the banks of Pravara river, is considered to be the southernmost site of Harappan civilization. 4 bronze objects were found at Daimabad: elephant, two-wheeled chariot, rhinoceros, and buffalo, not unicorn. And these collectively are known as Daimabad horde. So 1, 2, 3, option is B. These objects are present in Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj Vastu Sangrahalaya at present. 38. With reference to Roman influence on Gandhara school of sculpture, consider following features. A realistic representation was a Roman influence. Distinguished muscular representation, Roman influence. Buddha wearing Roman toga-like dress, correct. Hairs arranged in curly manner, correct. Focus on depiction of physical beauty was Greek, not Roman, was Greek influence. So Buddha was portrayed like Greek god Apollo. That was a Greek influence. Option here, 1, 2, 3, 4 is correct. Which of these are correct? Result of Roman influence, 1, 2, 3, 4, A. 39. With reference to paintings found on the walls of Bhimbetka caves. Bhimbetka caves are located in Raisen district of MP. These caves belong to Stone Age. The paintings start somewhere around 1 lakh years ago and continue up to 1000 AD, that is up to early medieval age. Some of the paintings depicted in these caves were made during early historic age. Early historic age means somewhere between 200 BC to 200 AD basically, or anything you can say after 600 BC, because historic age starts in 600 BC or 6th century BC. Early historic age, this period, early centuries of Krishna era BC. Of course, some of the paintings belong to Shaka Kusana period, because the images here, the paintings here depict horse riders wearing the Shaka dress of toga, the Shaka dress of kind of long overcoat. The images of Brahmanical deities are also found here. Ganesha found. That's correct here. But these are belonging to early medieval age. These paintings reveal that Stone Age man practiced agriculture. Stone Age man did not practice agriculture in these paintings and took interest in cultural activities. That's correct. So paintings belonging to Stone Age in Bhimbetka caves do not depict agricultural activities. The Stone Age man practiced agriculture during Neolithic age. But there is no Neolithic painting in Bhimbetka caves. There are some paintings depicting agricultural activities, but those paintings belong to Chalcolithic period, that is the age of 2800 BC to 700 BC, when people were using copper stone tools. This one is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. 1 and 2, option D. 40. In the context of Ajanta caves, choose the correct statement. Ajanta caves were cut out on the banks of river Vaghora in horseshoe-shaped hill. Horseshoe, C. So there is a C or this kind of shape of hill, and here caves have been cut. Some are single story, some others are multi-story. There are 29 finished and 1 unfinished cave. The paintings found in Ajanta caves depict only religious themes. That is wrong, because in cave number 1 at Ajanta, one of the paintings depict King Pulkesin II of Chalukyan dynasty receiving the Persian ambassador of King Khusro II. That is not religious theme. Second is wrong. Both fresco means use of wet plaster to make painting. Tempera means use of dry plaster to make paintings. Techniques were used by the artist in Ajanta caves. That's correct. 1 and 3 are correct. Second is wrong. Option is 1 and 3, that is A. Question number 41. Consider following statements. A book having the title Travels in Mughal Empire was written by French writer Francois Bernier. So Bernier was a French writer, Francois Bernier. He composed or he wrote this book, not Duat Babosan. A book titled as Tabakat-e-Nasiri by Minhajuddin Siraj. He was contemporary of Iltutmish, and he wrote the history of Turkish rule till 1259 AD. So he provides reference that murals means wall paintings. Wall paintings were made to celebrate the occasion of receiving investiture or khillat by Iltutmish from Caliph. So Caliph sent investiture, some gifts to Iltutmish in 1229 AD, and that occasion was celebrated by depicting murals or by making murals. That's correct. Only 2. That is B. 42. With reference to Ahmadiyya movement started by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. This was a Muslim socio-religious movement started by Mirza Ghulam Ahmad. Choose the correct statements. This movement disseminated the idea of Western liberal education. It was in favor of spreading Western liberal education among Muslims. That is correct. Ahmadiyya movement was political. It was not political. It was apolitical. It did not try to re-establish Mughal rule in India. So that is also wrong. Statement number 3 is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. You have to choose correct statement. So 1 and 2 only B. 43. Consider following names of painters. Which of these were living in the court of Emperor Akbar? Basavan, Daswant, not Bisandas, not Mansur, Tarachand. Bisandas and Mansur were in the court of Jahangir. So 1, 2 and 4. Option is D. 44. With reference to Theosophical Society established by H.S. Alcott in USA, H.P. Blavatsky, husband wife, they established in USA. Headquarter was later shifted to India at Adyar. So it was not founded in India, it was founded in USA. It was revivalist in its outlook, that's correct. Its main objective was to strengthen ancient religions of Hinduism, Buddhism and Zoroastrianism, that's correct. The idea of incarnation and karma theory were accepted, that's correct. Correct statements 2 and 3. Option is B. 45. With reference to Indian festival of Baishakhi, the Sikh festival of Baisakhi, festival of harvest. So it is harvest festival, that's correct. Festival commemorates the recreation of Khalsa Panth. Khalsa Panth was established by Gurudev or Guru Govind Singh Ji. Start from there. Both are correct. It is celebrated in the month of April, when harvesting of wheat, season of wheat crop is carried out not in November. So in the month of April, third is wrong. 1 and 2 are correct. Option. Statement given above are correct, so 1 and 2 only, D. 46. Consider following statements about hill forts of Rajasthan. Chittorgarh Fort is among the 6 majestic forts which are part of the hill forts of Rajasthan recognized by UNESCO's World Heritage Site list. That's correct. These 6 forts have been included in UNESCO's World Heritage Sites list. These massive forts were built to reflect the power and prestige of Rajput rulers, not Mughal rulers. These are Rajput forts, not Mughal forts. So these were reflecting the power and prestige of Rajput rulers, not Mughals. Second is wrong. Trading centers, urban centers, and temples were part of the structure of these forts. That's correct. These were like cities in themselves. They used to be markets, they used to be temples, they used to be cultural centers of cultural activity in the forts. 1 and 3 are correct, second is wrong. Option is D. 47. Consider following statements. A miniature painting. Miniature painting is a painting that depicts very, very fine details of the subject matter. If a miniature painting is seen under magnifying glass, more details become visible. That's miniature painting. First feature here, at the most 1/6 of its original size, not 1/3. First one is wrong. A miniature painting depicts objects at the most 1/6 of their original size. Correct. The Pothi format of painting, which was used to describe a story, came into existence during early medieval age. That's correct. Pothi means book. Depiction of stories through paintings. The depiction of stories or books through paintings. Chaura Panchasika. Chor Panchasika 50. So Chaura Panchasika literal meaning 50 stanzas of thief. It's a love story of a princess and a thief portrayed by Bilhana. Bilhana was a Kashmiri poet, Kashmiri painter of 11th century. It is one of the finest examples of Pothi format of painting. Correct. First is wrong. Second, third are correct. Option is A. 48. Which of the following statements are correct with reference to Mahabodhi Temple Complex? Mahabodhi Temple Complex, Bodh Gaya or Gaya. First one, Mahabodhi Temple is one of the earliest Buddhist temples which was constructed using bricks entirely. Correct. It's a brick structure. It's a complex, basically multiple structures are there. The first temple located in this complex was built by Ashoka, not Chandragupta Maurya, by Mauryan ruler Ashoka. Second is wrong. Mahabodhi Temple Complex is included in UNESCO's World Heritage Site list. That is correct. Choose the correct answer. You have to pick up the correct statements. 1 and 3. Option is B. 49. Consider following statement with reference to Fatehpur Sikri. Fatehpur Sikri was established as a new capital, was built as a new capital by Mughal Emperor Akbar in the honor of Sheikh Salim Chishti. Fatehpur Sikri was the center of Sheikh Salim Chishti, and with the blessings of this Sufi saint, Salim or Jahangir was born. So for his commitment, for his devotion, for his respect for Salim Chishti, Akbar built Fatehpur Sikri or decided to shift his capital to Fatehpur Sikri. The monuments located at Fatehpur Sikri were built by Mughal Emperor Akbar, not Shah Jahan, only Akbar. This city was built in the honor of Sufi saint Salim Chishti, and it also served as a capital of Mughal Empire for a few years, of course, because it was abandoned later because of scarcity or due to scarcity of water. First wrong, second right. Which of these statements are correct? So only 2. First one is wrong. 2 only. 50. Consider following statements. Konark Sun Temple. It is located in Odisha, Konark, at sea coast. It represents the culmination of Kalinga style of temple architecture. It is the finest example of Kalinga style a variant of Nagara style which manifested itself in Odisha or Kalinga region, Konark Sun Temple. This temple is associated with Brahmanism and Tantric cult, Tantric rituals or beliefs. Correct? All three are correct here. Option D, 1 to 3. 51. With reference to Mathura school of sculpture, consider following statements. Secular elements were predominant. Of course, secular elements were there. Images of king, queen, birds, animals were made along with the religious sculptures. This school of sculpture was free from foreign influence. This is wrong. There was influence of Greco-Roman art because when Sakas and Kushanas established their rule over Mathura region, the Mathura school of sculpture came under foreign influence. At times, the images of Gandhara style, which was deeply influenced by Greco-Roman art, were made by artists of Mathura because these Gandhara style images were in great demand in outside world. So foreign influence was there. Headless figure of Kanishka found at Mathura, not Patliputra, found at Mathura is one of the finest example of Mathura school of sculpture. So not Patliputra, location, Mathura, that is wrong here. 1 is correct. You have to choose not correct. Which is not correct? So 2 and 3 are not correct. Option is B. 52. Consider following statements. Paintings in Ellora caves. Themes related to Brahminical religion are depicted in these paintings. Ellora caves have Brahminical themes, have Buddhist themes. Blue color was predominantly used in these paintings, perfectly correct. The scenes of court life were also depicted, that is also correct. All the 3 statements are correct. You have to choose the correct statement. So option is 1, 2, 3, that is B. 53. With reference to the technique of pietra dura, which of the following statements are correct? Pietra dura technique was a technique of ornamentation used in monuments during Mughal period. In this technique, designs were carved out on marble surface and these carvings were filled with precious and semi-precious stones. This technique was adopted from Persia, so statement number 1 is correct. And during the reign of Jahangir, it was adopted for the first time. So second statement is also correct. This technique was used for the first time in the tomb of Itimad-ud-Dawla. Itimad-ud-Dawla was father-in-law of Jahangir. He was father of Nur Jahan. And this tomb is located at Agra, not Allahabad. So third statement is wrong here. Option which are correct. So 1 and 2 only, that is B. 54. Consider following Indian literary works of ancient age: Raghuvansham, Malvika Agnimitram, Meghaduta, all these 3 by Kalidas. You have to look for the works of Kalidas. So 1, 2, 3. Amar Kosh were written by Amar Simha. So number 4 is not Kalidas' work. 1, 2, 3. Option is D. Amar Kosh by Amar Simha. Kalidas as well as Amar Simha were living in the age of Imperial Guptas in 4th, 5th centuries. 55. Consider following techniques: block printing technique, book binding technique, spinning wheel. Which of these techniques were brought to India by Turks? Turks did not bring paper printing technique. Printing machine was brought to India by Portuguese in 16th century. Turks brought block printing, book binding, spinning wheel. They brought Persian wheel known as sakia. And the sakia was used in the making of rehet. The Turks brought the technique of metal plating. They brought nadaf. Nadaf was a Persian cotton carder, a machine that is used to take out seeds from cotton to make cotton puffy. So 1 to 3 are correct. Option is B. 56. Consider following pairs of books and authors: India Wins Freedom, Abul Kalam Azad. Fatwa-i-Zahandari. This was the only law book of Sultanate period written by Ziauddin Barni. Ziauddin Barni wrote another book with the name Tariq-e-Firoz Shahi. Fatwa-i-Zahandari was also written by Ziauddin Barni. Kavya-Mimamsha was written by Rajsekhar in early medieval age. All 3 are correct. Option 1 to 3, that is C. 57. Consider following statements about Tariq-e-Sher Shahi. Tariq-e-Sher Shahi was written by Abbas Khan Sarwani, and Abbas Khan Sarwani was Waqia Navis or news reporter under Akbar. So when he was under Akbar, he was under Sher Shah also earlier. So he knew Sher Shah, but he wrote this book in the reign of Akbar when he was working as Waqia Navis. Waqia Navis means news reporter. First one is correct. This book provides detailed account of administrative system or time period of Sher Shah Suri, the founder of Sur dynasty. Second is also correct. Both are correct. Option is C. 58. Consider following books: Nuh Shifir, Tughlaqnama, Deval Rani, Khizr Khani, Jafarnama. Which of these were written by Amir Khusro? Amir Khusro did not write Jafarnama. This was written by Guru Gobind Singh. First three were written by Amir Khusro. Amir Khusro was also author of the most prominent book of Sultanate times, Khazin ul Futuh. Khazin ul Futuh. So 1, 2, 3, not 4. Option C. 59. Geet Govind, Jayadev, Mitakshar, Vigneshwar, Lilavati is a chapter of Bhaskaracharya's Siddhanta Shiromani. Bhaskaracharya was a great mathematician and astronomer. Virasolium, Buddhamitra. All the four are correctly matched. 1, 2, 3, 4. Option is A. 60. Consider following activities: tanning of leather, fermentation of grains and fruits, dyeing of wool. Which of these chemical methods were known to Vedic Aryans? All the three. They knew how to tan leather, they knew how to ferment grains and fruits to make liquor, and they were also aware of technique of making the wool colorful. So 1, 2, 3, option is D. 61. With reference to Amravati School of Sculpture, consider following statements: Vengi and Nagarjunikonda were among the prominent centers of this school. Very correct. Vengi was the most prominent center, so that is why it was also known as Vengi School of Sculpture. The artists of this school portrayed only Buddhist themes, and they portrayed secular themes also. Feminine beauty was portrayed in extremely erotic form. They also made images of birds and animals. This school of sculpture declined in 3rd century. It did not decline. It continued under Pallavas and Cholas later. So Satavahanas declined in 3rd century AD. Satavahanas patronized this school in 2nd century BC to 3rd century AD. But it did not decline with Satavahana power. Satavahanas followed by Ikshvakus, Vakatakas, then Pallavas, then Cholas, all continued to provide patronage to this school, and it continued to flourish. Which of these statements are not correct? First one is correct. Second, third not correct. Option is 2 and 3. D. 62. Consider following statements: Sadakars and Pachikars are the terms used for different categories of artisans involved in stone work. Sadakars are involved in cutting and polishing. Pachikars involved in inlay work in stone. Both Sadakars and Pachikars involved in cutting and polishing? No. Sadakars involved in cutting, polishing. Pachikars involved in making inlay work or in doing inlay work. First is right, second is correct, wrong. Option is A. 63. With reference to the rules and regulations of Buddhist Sangha, consider following statements: everyone was allowed to acquire the membership of Buddhist Sangha, so there was no discrimination on the basis of caste or varna. Even the slaves could enter Buddhist Sangha, but after taking permission from their master. The Sangha was governed by democratic principles. That's correct. The Sangha enjoyed authority to enforce discipline on its members. Of course, Sangha was like a state within a state. Which of these statements are correct? All three are correct. Option is B. 1 to 3. 64. Consider following sculptures: Tetiriya Brahmana, Sritpata Brahmana, Aitriya Brahmana, Koshitiki Brahmana. which of these were related to Yajurveda? Aitriya Brahmana, Koshitki Brahmana are associated with Rig Veda, Taittiriya Satpatha with Yajurveda, so 1 and 2. That is A. 65. With reference to progress in the field of mathematics, which of the following statements are correct? Pythagoras' theorem was discovered in India by ancient scholar Bodhayana. That's correct. So Bodhayana was the inventor, was the developer of Pythagoras' theorem. Pythagoras' theorem means that is used in right angle triangles. Development in algebra branch of mathematics was initiated by Aryabhatta. He was the first algebraic expert in the world. Decimal system of numeration was invented by Aryabhatta, not by Brahmagupta. So third is wrong. You have to choose correct statements, so 1 and 2. That is B. 66. Read the following statements carefully and choose the right answer. Gatika was a famous center of learning in India during ancient age. Of course, Gatikas were the centers of learning associated or attached to temples, Gatikas. Correct. Palichandam was a Buddhist center. Palichandam was a Jaina, basically, not Buddhist. It's a Jaina center, not Buddhist center, not Brahminical center. Gatika, Brahminical center. Second wrong. Craft organizations known as guild imparted vocational education to its members during ancient age. Correct. The guilds used to impart vocational learning to its members. So first and third are right. Second is wrong. Option is 1 and 3. Yes, so first one is also wrong here. This is not Jaina philosophy. This is Buddhist, Hindu. Gatika was a Brahminical center of learning attached to temple, not Jaina. So first one is also wrong here. Second is wrong. Palichandam was Jaina. Third is right here. So option is 3 only. 67. Consider following statements with reference to Chishti order. Sheikh Salim Chishti was the founder. Wrong. Muinuddin Chishti was the founder. Sheikh Nizamuddin Auliya was associated with this sect. Correct. The Sufis of this order follow doctrine of Wahdatul Wujud. Wahdatul Wujud means unity of being. There is one God, and everyone is a reflection of the same. 2 and 3 are correct. Option is C. 68. Consider following pairs. Dada Saheb Phalke Award. So what is the specialty? It is the highest cinema award in India. Correct. Dada Saheb Phalke Award. Gyanpith Award is the highest literary honor in India. Padam Shri is number 4 in highest. What are 3? Bharat Ratna, Padam Vibhushan, Padam Bhushan, and then comes Padam Shri. All 3 are correctly matched. 1 to 3, option is C. 69. With reference to progress in the field of astronomy, which of the following statements are correct? The earliest reference of Indian interest in the field of astronomy was or has been found in Taittiriya Brahmana. Correct. Astronomy was the only branch of learning or knowledge in which Indians learned from foreigners. Correct. Brahmagupta estimated circumference of Earth, and his estimation was close to modern calculation. It's not Brahmagupta. Aryabhatta estimated circumference of Earth. Aryabhatta estimated distance between Earth and Moon, Earth and Sun. Aryabhatta estimated all these calculations very, very close to modern figures, modern calculations. So 1 and 2 are correct. Third is wrong because it's not Brahmagupta, it's Aryabhatta. B. 70. Consider following Indian crafts: Dokra, Bidri, Kaftagiri, Charakwan. These are associated with which of the following handicraft industries? Metal industry. B. These are metal crafts. So all of these are related to making of metal handicraft objects. 71. Consider following rathas: Nakula Shahadev, Ganesh Pindari, Valaya Kuntai. All of these are part of Sapta Pagoda of Mahabalipuram. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, there are 8 rathas. 8 rathas were cut out of hills during the reign of Pallava king Narasimha Varmana I Mamalla at Mahabalipuram. 4 are these. Other 4, Dharmraj, Arjun, then you have Bhima Ratha and Draupadi Ratha. Dharmraj Ratha, Arjun Ratha, Bhima Ratha, Draupadi Ratha, these are 4 more, so there are 8. The name is Sapta Pagoda. The name seems to suggest that there were 7, but actually there were 8. So option here is D. 72. Consider following statements about Francois Bernier. Francois, French traveler, not native of Portugal, he was a French one. He was a physician, correct? He was an eyewitness to the war of succession fought among sons of Shah Jahan or among brothers of Aurangzeb, correct? 72 is 2 and 3. 2 and 3 option is D. 73. Consider read the following statements carefully. Mauryan ruler Ashoka sent a number of missionaries to different parts of the world to propagate and teach teachings of Mahatma Buddha. That's correct. His son Mahendra and daughter Sanghmitra went to Sri Lanka not to spread Ashoka's Dhamma but to spread teachings of Mahatma Buddha or Buddhism. That is wrong statement. Ashoka's Dhamma and Buddhism were not same, they were different. Ashoka's Dhamma was just an ethical moral code of conduct. It was not a religion. Mahatma Buddha believed in efficacy of Gyan Marg, path of knowledge. Gyan Marg means path of knowledge, that you attain knowledge and you get salvation, you get nirvana. Correct. 1 and 3 are correct. Second is wrong. Option is D. 74. Consider following pairs containing capital of Ashokan pillars and their discovery. Single line capital Vaishali. 4 lions sitting back to back, Sanchi as well as Sarnath. Correct. Bull capital Rampurwa, Champaran district, Bihar. Elephant capital Sankisa, Farrukhabad district of UP. So 1 and 2 are right, 3 and 4 are wrong, which are correctly matched 1 and 2. That is B. 75. With reference to ancient seals, consider following statements. Estetite, a soft white color stone, was the most common material used by Harappans to make seals. That is correct. Clay was the most common material used by the people of Mesopotamian civilization to make seals. Correct. Unicorn and cow were the most frequently depicted animals in Harappan seals. Not cow. Cow was not depicted. Unicorn was depicted. Third statement was wrong. Which of these are correct? 1 and 2. 76. With reference to Wahhabi movement, consider following statements. The movement was started in India by Sayyid Ahmad Barelvi. He was influenced by the teachings of Saha Waliullah. That's correct. This movement aimed at removing all the new elements that had entered the religious life of Muslims. Of course, it was puritanical in character. It wanted to restore the purity of Islam or the ancient purity of Islam. This movement was purely religious in character and it was without any political agenda. It was politico-religious. It wanted to establish Dar-ul Islam or the rule of Islam. It considered India was Darul Harb, the rule of or the land of infidels under British. So it fought against British and it was defeated. Sayyid Ahmad Raebareli was defeated in 1831 in the Battle of Balakot. He was militarily defeated. It was suppressed by British with the help of liberal Muslim leaders. Wrong. It was suppressed by British with the help of superior military power. 1 and 2 are correct. 3, 4 wrong. Choose the correct statement. 1 and 2. Option is C. 77. With reference to different types of pottery used in India, consider following statements. Painted graveware, PCW pottery, was used by later Vedic Aryans, not Indus Valley people. This was the pottery of Vedic age. This was used by Vedic Aryans during second phase or later Vedic age. Statement number 2. NBPW, Northern Black Polish to be a poetry, was a typical poetry of Mauryan times, Mahajanpada period, or is a Buddha period. Correct. Ochre colored pottery was used by the people of Gangetic Valley between 2000 BC to 1500 BC. This was not the pottery of megalithic culture. Megalithic people used black and red ware. This is a wrong statement. 1 and 2 are correct. Third is wrong. Sorry, 1 and 3 are wrong. Correct statements, only 2 is correct. B. 78, with reference to Shri, now we are, yes, this is festival, Shri festival. Consider following statements. This festival is organized to spread awareness about Shri lily flower, that's correct, by the people of Manipur, not Assam. So it is a festival of Manipur, not Assam. Second is wrong, first is right. Option is A, 1 only. 79, with reference to development in Indo-Islamic architecture, which of the following statements are correct? Jamaat-e-Khana Mosque was built by Alauddin Khilji. And this was the first Islamic monument constructed out of fresh material, or this was built in new material. Correct. True arch was used for the first time in Balban's tomb, not in Humayun's tomb, in Balban's tomb. Taj Mahal is not a mosque, it's a tomb. It was built by Shah Jahan in the memory of his beloved Begum Mumtaz Mahal. Second half is correct, first half is wrong. It's not a mosque, it's a tomb. 1 is right, 2 and 3 are wrong, only 1, A. 80, consider following statements. Sculptures of Jaina Tirthankaras belonging to Kushana period were discovered at Chausa. That is correct. Angkor Wat temple complex located in Indonesia is the largest religious monument in the world. It's not in Indonesia, this is in Cambodia. This is the largest religious monument in the world, but not in Indonesia, but in Cambodia. First correct, second wrong, only 1. Now we are moving into current issues. These are current development related questions from 81 to 100. With reference to National Mission for Justice, Delivery and Legal Reforms, consider following statements. This is a centrally sponsored scheme to develop judicial infrastructure in India. First is correct. This mission covers higher as well as lower judiciary as well as Gram Nyayalayas. It intends to enhance the ease of access to justice and timely delivery of justice to all the 3 options. Statements are correct here. Idea is to deliver justice to everyone, rich or poor, with shortest possible delay. 82, which of the statements given below are correct? UV, ultraviolet C, air duct disinfection system has been developed by Central Scientific Instrument Organization. That is correct. UVC radiation is produced by sunlight. It is produced by sunlight also. It can be produced artificially also. But this is not longest, this is shortest in visible spectrum. So it's the shortest wavelength of visible spectrum. Second is wrong. Ultraviolet germicidal irradiation is a disinfection method that kills germs, bacteria, pathogens. That is correct. 1 and 3 are correct, second is wrong, option is B. 83. Cassini mission, it's a mission of NASA, and it recently discovered presence of methane in the moons of planet Saturn, correct. This mission is a cooperation between NASA, European Space Agency and Italian Space Agency, correct. It was the first landing ever accomplished in the outer solar system, of course, but it's not a soft landing. It was hard landing. So it moved down slowly, and during that moving process, it analyzed the atmospheric composition of Titan, the planet Saturn's moon, and found methane 1 to 3. C. 84. Consider following statements with reference to Viper. Viper is a mobile robot. It is the first resource mapping mission on another celestial body. That's correct. Point number 2. The main objective of Viper mission is to explore Moon's south pole region. First and second both are correct. Option is C. 85. Compositions of fly ash, silicon, aluminium oxide, ferric oxide, calcium oxide, all of these are part of fly ash 1, 2, 3, 4, that is D. 86. Chemotaxis is a migration of cells towards attracting chemicals or away from the repellents. That's correct. Somatic cells are responsible for direct their movement. Both are correct here. This is about pathogens reacting to different repellents. C. 87. Congo Nadu is a place with a specific pin code. Congo Nadu was in controversy recently when BJP issued a list of ministers and it was referred that they belong to Congo Nadu. Congo Nadu is a region on Tamil Nadu mentioned in historical literature, but it's not any specifically defined region with pin code. It's an area, a broader area. First one is wrong. It doesn't have a specific pin code. It's mentioned in Tamil literature of ancient times. Correct. Only 2. 88. Read the following statements. India's first cryptogamic garden was inaugurated in Dehradun, Uttarakhand, not Himachal Pradesh. Cryptogam is a plant that reproduces with help of spores. Correct. Favorable conditions, low pollution. Most conditions 2 and 3 are correct here. 1 is wrong. Option is C. 89. A new native moss species has been found in Antarctica. It has been named after India's Antarctic station, Bharati. Mosses are non-flowering plants. Both are correct here. Option is C. Both 1 and 2. So these are current related issues. Keep reading, and all of these can be solved if you just refer to one of the papers, let's say Hindu or Indian Express. 90. Consider following statements about Lembru Elephant Reserve. This is in Chhattisgarh. It's aiming at reducing human-animal conflict. Elephant reserves are not recognized by Wildlife Protection Act. So 1 and 2 only. That is D. We are looking for correct one. So 1 and 2 D. 91. With reference to heat dome, you would have read in North America this was a major problem this time. A strong change in the land, not land, sea temperature or oceanic temperature from west to east is the reason. First is wrong. It prevents cloud from forming, so it further increases incoming solar radiation. That's right. This phenomena can damage crops and can also contribute to wildfire. Of course, temperature increased enormously, so there was massive loss to life. At many places, wildfire was witnessed because of this heat dome. 2 and 3 are correct. 1 is wrong. Option is C. 92. National Automotive Test Track, NATRAX. This is in Indore, not Bhopal. And this is not the project of Union Ministry of Road Transport. This is a project of Union Ministry of Heavy Industries. Both are wrong. Option is D. So this has been built at Indore, and this is built by Union Ministry of Heavy Industries. 93. With reference to Indrajal, it is India's first indigenous drone defense system developed by Hyderabad-based firm. Correct. This technology has the capability to autonomously protect an area of 1,000 to 2,000 square kilometers. Correct. The design principles of this technology are based on delivering automotive autonomy to armed forces. Correct. 1 to 3. C. 94. With reference to Uniform Information System of Education, which of the statements are correct? It is one of the largest management information system by Ministry of Education, not by Ministry of Home Affairs. So this is wrong here. Other details are correct. It helps measure the education parameters from class 1 to 12. That's correct. Only 2. 95. eMeda portal is an online public access catalog for medical heritage books. Correct. E-Granthalaya is a digital platform, but only for government libraries, not for private libraries. E-Meda portal is under Ministry of Ayush, not in the Ministry of Health. So this is under Ministry of Ayush. 3 is wrong. Only 1 is correct. A. 96. Rath Yatra, this festival commemorates Lord Jagannath's annual visit along with his siblings. Sibling means brother Balaram, sister Shubhadra, to Gundicha temple. It's popularly known as Festival of Chariot, and the chariot of Lord Jagannath is known as Nandi Ghosh, correct? Both are correct here, both 1 and 2, C. Consider following statements with reference to Section 66A of India IT Act 2000. Supreme Court struck down this act as unconstitutional in Shreya Singhal case, right? It prescribes punishment for sending not unsolicited, obscene, objectionable, provocative messages, not unsolicited messages. So only 1 is correct, 2 is wrong here. Option is A, 1 only. 98. White flag movement in Malaysia is being used by people to convey distress about financial crunch, not discontent against government. So what is the reason here? 1 only. So this is a Malaysian movement, white flag movement. People are raising white flag to highlight their economic hardships. 99. Unified license virtual network, WPC licenses, license for the use of spectrum. All of these can be acquired through Saral Sanchar portal launched by Department of Telecommunication. So 1, 2, 3, 4, D. 100. Baliyan variety of wheat. This variety of wheat has high protein content and it enjoys geographical indication tag. It has unique identity associated with particular geographical region. This variety of wheat is grown in Gujarat, not in Rajasthan. Other details of statement are correct. In the rain-fed condition of irrigation, less area. GI tag are part of intellectual property rights that come under Paris Convention. 1 and 3 are correct. 2nd is wrong. Option is B. So this was the discussion of today's test paper. I hope all of you have matched your answers and you could get what is the right option, what is the wrong option. At the same time, you got the idea why is the particular option correct and why is the particular option wrong. I hope you have noted down the main points discussed during discussion, revise them repeatedly. This will help in enriching your knowledge. In case you have any difficulty anywhere, always feel free to contact me through teacher support or through telephone or through email. We are always here to help you. So keep working, keep moving ahead. All the best. God bless you.